With the switch to Peacock, one season out the gate, they said Pastor Cal, Dr. Peppers, and Dr. Pia, it doesn't matter if you're Married at First Sight legacies, you're out. What's very interesting about this statement that they put out is they never explicitly just say that they were fired, but they say that they're thrilled to embark on a new chapter. They were excited to have been able to work alongside Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Pia for so long. Don't get me wrong, this needed to happen. Every season for the last, I don't even know how many seasons, there's been times where they're counseling the couples and their advice feels stale, it doesn't feel relatable, it perhaps doesn't feel appropriate per the situation. I'll never forget how Dr. Pia navigated MM and Akechi's relationship or really ever understand why they matched them. But I think one of the other realities is they're probably taking the hit for however many seasons of a producer who matches the couples, and then the experts have to come out and try to make the couples make sense. And it's probably easier for the network to act like certain relationships didn't work or the show wasn't working because of the experts, and then just replace them and let them sort of like take the fall for it. Again, this is needed. We've been saying this. It sucks to see them go, but also we love to watch you leave because it's time. The person I'll miss the most is Pastor Cal. We barely even saw Dr. Peppers on screen for the last however many seasons.
Hey family. By now, most of you may have heard that I'm no longer with Married at First Sight. I've seen the messages, I've felt the love, the frustration, the why him and the what now. And some of you, about time, but I pay no attention to them. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for letting me into your living room season after season, for 16 of them. But here's the truth. My platform has changed, but my assignment has not. You see, I didn't start caring about relationships because of TV. TV was just an amplification of the work I've done my entire life. This is not a disappearance.
Okay, well, guys, welcome to a very sick but still here episode of Bluecentric Live. For those who don't know, I have really excruciating cycles. It's been speculated I have endometriosis. God knows I have something. And because of that, I usually am on bed rest. Sorry, I'm struggling with my earring. Here we go. Because of that, I'm usually on bed rest for 5 days out of the month, 7 on a bad month, and I have my entire schedule built around, let me just clean out the screen, built around not going live or at least being medicated during my cycle. But lucky for me, I was so stressed out this month. Aunt Flo came 2 days late. So the plan wasn't for us to do this with me in this state, but look at me, still here, right? I'm happy to be here. If you're new here, welcome to Bluecentric Live, where the intellectual and the whimsical meet. You guys, it's so funny. When Bluecentric production started back in 2010, our production company tagline was Bluecentric Productions, where the intellectual and the whimsical meet. And now 16 years later, whimsical and whimsy is trending. And I'm like, look at us. If you ever see any of my old promo content, it all says we're the intellectual and whimsical meet. So look at us. We weren't wrong. We were just early. If my eyes look low, it's because I've been medicating. You already know what that means. Legally obtained in the state of California. We will be having an after show. But before we get into the main show, I have a fun announcement to make. Guys, I have been working on a secret line of Luxe candles for about a year now, literally since September of last year when the candle shop reopened. I've been working on this line, and you guys know I'm a little OCD when it comes to hold on, let me change the banner. I'm a little OCD when it comes to, oh yeah, the classes are sold out, so I'm about to change the banner. But I'm OCD when it comes to anything that involves research. And so hold on, register for Los Angeles pop-up meet and greet, you guys. So I've been working on the candle line for a year, and the first candle that we're dropping from the line, because we're actually dropping the Luxe line one at a time. Number one, these candles are so expensive to make. It's a lot going on. The candles are very expensive to make. Fuck a profit, just making them is expensive. But these are the candles that I've been using for myself for a while. I have a rule that I don't sell a candle unless I've used it for at least a year. And so I've been using the one that's going to go first. I've been using for longer than a year. I'm trying not to smile. Guys, we're having a Los Angeles pop-up. Let me see. Let me put in the thing. Blue Pop 26 at eventbrite.com. Save. So yes, we're having a pop-up, and I just changed the bottom. It says register for the Los Angeles Meet and Greet 2026, Blue Pop 2026. I think that's the address. I did this last night in the middle of the night. Blue Pop 26.eventbrite.com. Does it go up? Oh shit, it does go up. Let's do a quick screen share. Take this down. Guys, don't worry. We will be talking about Married at First Sight. In fact, we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight so fucking much. Enjoy this break while you can have it. So this is the pop-up that we're having. It's going to be September 12th from 3 to 7 p.m. in Los Angeles, California. I promise you guys, when we got at least 2,200 members in the members only area, I would do this. We're almost up to 3,000 now. And it is going to be amazing. It says, you asked and we finally answered. I'm going to read this with y'all because a lot of y'all like to DM me and email me things that are already available. So join the Bluecentric team for our first in-person meet and greet and receive a limited edition, drum roll please, Spirit of Wetness candle. I spent the last year testing out the Spirit of Wetness candle. Most recently in May, right after my birthday. Thank you to that man for his service. So the Spirit of Wetness candles are going to be thank you. There will be in these close. I can't y'all, let's get through LA. Let's just get through LA. But yes, if you can make it to LA, if only flight was included, not for $100. What kind of flight? Spirit Airline is out of business. So, guys, I will say this, and this is something that my team and I had to have conversations about. The Spirit of Wetness candle, the vessel, I don't even want to show y'all the vessel. It's so pretty. It's right over there. The vessel that we're having for the meet and greets are not going to be the vessels that are going to be online. The meet and greet vessels are limited edition. You can only get them at meet and greets. They're so beautiful and delicate and expensive. Did I mention expensive? They're so beautiful and delicate and expensive. It is a special gift for people who come to the meet and greet. So there will eventually be a Spirit of Wetness candle sold on the website for everybody. Not that we wet. Y'all are funny. Y'all are fun. Shout out to those who are saying they can make it to LA. We're so excited. Very limited seating. There is a VIP area. And by VIP, there's going to be a rooftop VIP area where me and Bridget are giving out the candles. And then there's going to be a friends and family area where my friend Danny, y'all remember Danny from the Icky Story? Danny's going to be there. Mel's going to be there. My web developer's going to be there. So all the characters that you hear me talk about, well, not all of them, but a bunch of people that you hear me talk about every single day on these lives are going to be at the meet and greet. So you're going to be meeting and greeting all of us. It's going to be the whole team. So there's going to be a VIP section for those who like to be on the roof and maybe puff in a pass, legally obtained in the state of California. For the smokers, the kikiers, the ones who want a catered meal, there's the VIP section. And for everybody else, we're going to be all over the place, though. There's the friends and family section. So there is no Gen Pop. The fact that you even got a ticket means you are immediately not Gen Pop because there's only but so many tickets. I'm not going to tell you the exact number because I don't want people to freak out. But I intentionally, for my first in-person meet and greet, it's going to be a very small number. Okay. The word's intimate. It's going to be an intimate thing. So let me make sure I got the URL right. It is fall 26, not fall 26. It's Blue Pop 26 as in blues pop up. Blue Pop 26.eventbrite.com. Shout out to the members in the members only area. You guys got a heads up about this yesterday. You guys know how we do things. Members always get a heads up first. If you want to become a member, please look in the description box right under the description for today's episode. It says become a member of the Academy. Speaking of which, let me go into my YouTube settings. Y'all thought y'all tricked me. We have a members only live with Bridget Kelly starting at noon today. And let me go press the button to make it members only because somebody said, Blue, you forgot to hit the members only button. Oh, don't worry. I was going to remember. All right, let me go in right now. It says public. Fuck that. Respectfully. Members only. There we go. So the after show is going to be members only around 12:15 since we started late. The pop-up is going to be September 12th. The Spirit of Wetness candles. Y'all, you know what? I have to show you the container. The container is so pretty. And it cost me so much fucking money. Hold on. Where's the container? And guys, these candles, okay, because these are luxe candles, which means they're way more than Sorry, every time I pause is because I'm thinking about how much money was charged on my credit card to buy these limited edition candles. But hold on for a second. Let me grab it. Where's the container? Mind you, fuck the container because the candles themselves are amazing, right? I could have put these in a tin can and the candle magic would have still worked. So I need you to know that candle magic is not about the vessel. Well, sometimes it is about the vessel. Let me not lie. Candle magic is elevated though when you have a high vessel. This is because the Spirit of Wetness candle. And for those who don't know what Spirit of Wetness is, I'm going to play. Should I play my Spirit of Wetness video? I'll put the Spirit of Wetness video on Monday maybe. But you guys, this candle, y'all, look at this. Making magic is already a transcendent experience. Doing it in something this beautiful. Look at this. Do you see this? Like, I don't even. These will not be on the website. These will not be on the website. These are a thank you for sharing space with me. I don't even want to. Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, these are the kind of candles that somebody said, can we buy a ticket and someone at the meet and greet pick it up for us? Please. Yeah. Look, whoever gets a ticket, get the candle, right? The ticket price is the meet and greet plus the candle. So this is literally a thank you for sharing space with me and the team. Oh my God. Sorry. I feel the fact that the Spirit of Wetness is already in the container before we've even poured the wax or added the crystals and the ingredients. Where do I put this? Shout out to Bridget Kelly. Bridget is heading home right now, but she spent all morning helping unload all of these containers because we only have a very specific number. These are collector's edition. What I'm trying to do is do special drops based on what Spirit tells me, because sometimes Spirit will give me a whatever, and Spirit just kept on saying, number one, Spirit said you need a Spirit of Wetness candle in general, right? That was the first thing. But number two, I wanted to have two different containers. I wanted a container that's gorgeous. Mind you, the container on the website is going to be beautiful too. It's not going to be as pretty as that, respectfully. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Yes, and Spirit of Wetness is actually, I'm so happy you said this. Somebody said gorgeous, remind me of the old school powder glasses my grandmother had. So pretty. That's actually intentional because Spirit of Wetness to me is almost like a generational curse breaking through the divine feminine, right? So it's like the Luxe line is an elevated version of whatever the regular line has. And Spirit of Wetness is like if pure sweetness was set on fire. I can confirm it is that in real life as well. For those who don't know, I make intention candles. So the candles, when you pray over them, we have a lot of testimonials. I just say that much. I don't want to talk about magic too much on the public broadcast. But the Spirit of Wetness candles are like the hybrid of old school and new school. What do I always say? I would say not everything our grandmothers had to teach us. Oh, no, baby, I'm a Taurus. When I say Luxe, I mean that shit. If there's one word you can trust a Taurus to use correctly, it's Luxe. Yes? And the price is going to be lower for those who are coming to the meet and greet because, again, this is a thank you. So this is about a 12-ounce candle with gold and crystal. It's very lush. It is not a candle that you burn fleetingly. All the candles that are coming from the Luxe line are not the kind of candles you burn every month. These are once a quarter. I'm trying to set a theme of intention that's longer term. These are for longer term goals, right? So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I've gotten so much good feedback from so many people, my real life friends, people I don't even fucking know. And I will say this, we are about to do when did we start the candle line? 2020. So this is going to be our 6-year anniversary coming up next month. Oh my God, 6 years already. And I've been making candles like this, though, since 2016. So that's 10 years overall, because I had to use them for a couple years to make sure that they were working. I will say this. One of the candles that I burnt, actually, I credit with helping me get to California. It's the candle that I burnt when I wanted to get to LA. That's going to be the next drop from the Luxe line, but that's going to be happening probably top of 2027. That candle, I'm currently burning it, and let's just say it's working more than I thought. I won't say too much else. Okay, so is there a link to Eventbrite? Yes, the link, I just shared it, but I'll share it again. It is sorry, I just burped a little bit. Was that a Gatorade burp? For those who don't know, I'm drinking Gatorade, and also I'm wearing this bright chartreuse lime green shirt because whenever I'm in pain, wearing bright happy colors helps my brain be distracted from the pain. So even me wearing this bright color tells you I'm trying to cheer myself up. Look at you selling your product. I know, right? Here's the thing. I don't even think of it. I'm so bad at marketing and selling product. I'm really good about running my mouth about things that I love. So the fact that I'm selling things that I love is probably the only reason why this is even making any sense. Okay, enough of the sales pitch. We already started late. We are now jumping into, oh, this container is so beautiful. I just feel rich next to the container. Am I being a tourist by saying that? The candle is just in time for when you come to London. Yes, guys. Okay, last thing before we have to pivot to Married at First Sight. I'm going to wait to see what Beyonce says because y'all know I have a thing of every time Beyonce drops one of the acts, I go see her in London. So Act 1 was Renaissance. It was the year my mother was in and out of the ER. We did not know what was wrong with her. I thought I was going to lose her. It was very devastating. And I ran off to London for a week to see Renaissance and sit on stage and pay for them expensive ass tickets because I just needed a week of joy while praying that I didn't lose my mother. My mother's still with us. Look at God, right? Just hired a new medical team to help her out, led by my sister and my assistant, Mel. So Act 1 was me dancing through the trauma, right? Act 2 was Cowboy Carter last year, again in London. I'm in London. I've kept my mother alive. I've emptied out my savings account, making sure she has everything she needs. And I've just gotten betrayed by a guy I was interested in and two of my friends / business partners. I'm starting over. Sacred rage has taken over me for a year. And I say, you know what? Fuck it. Who better to understand what you're going through betrayal and transition than country music? Let me go back to London and see Beyonce again. So I went to go see her again, right? I'm on the flight back from London and saying, bitch, you have $213 in your account. Mama's alive. Great. But how we going to pay this rent? And I was lying on the couch one day and I said, you know what? I've been back from London for like 3 days now. That 213 is not going to last me very long. Rent is due in like a week. I made a commitment to post regularly on social media. I gave myself 12 months to be a lucrative content creator consistently. I've been doing content creation since 2001 before I had a name, right? But I've never been consistent. I've never taken it seriously. I was like, I'm going to take it seriously for a year. And the end of June, I was back from London and Mike was out in Paris. And that's the candle burner. I got nervous for a second. Mike was out in Paris, and I was like, "Damn, I wish I could have gone to Paris, but I ran out of money." And I'm like, I've been doing constant because it's a content creation. I keep going viral, but I'm not making money. You guys don't understand. Going viral and making money are two very fucking different things, right? My skin looks crystalline. Oh, well, funny enough, I've been burning this candle every month for like 6 months, so I feel like I look like the fucking candle at this point. And I can always tell people are using my candles because there's a look in their eyes. But anyways. So I'm like, fuck, I am going viral, but I'm not connecting virality to money, right? People don't tell you that you can have millions of views and still not be able to afford the extra guac. So I'm lying on the couch and I said, you know what? I'm going to try one last thing. I am going to try to cover Love Island since everybody's talking about Love Island, but I'm going to connect it to my Instagram live show, Free Game. What if we did a free game, but all just about Love Island? So I'm lying on the couch thinking about it. 20 minutes later, I say to myself, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. I'm lying on the couch again. I say, you know what? All right, I'm going to get up. As I'm about to stand up to go just shoot. Now, I didn't even know how to go live, so I was just going to shoot it pre-recorded on Zoom with a blurry camera. As I'm about to get up, Monique calls me. She's like, what you doing? I said, girl, it's crazy you called me. I'm just about to go live to talk about Love Island. She's like, bitch, I called you to talk about Love Island. I said, well, do you want to do it with me? She's like, sure. I said, well, if you're going to do it with me, you have like 20 minutes. She's like, I bet. And we jumped on camera, recorded it on Zoom. It was blurry. It looked crazy. The sound was bad. I said, okay, this is trash. This is absolute trash, but I'm going to put it out because something is better than nothing. We got like 1,000 views. I was like, oop, 1,000 views after I've been gone from YouTube for 6 months? That's not bad. Okay. So the following week, the visuals are okay, but now the sound is still trash. The sound is even worse now. I'm like, fuck, Monique. Okay, we figured out how to make it look decent, but it sounds like boo-boo. And then I learned how to go live, and y'all know what happened next. So Cowboy Carter was what I was listening to when I went to London for during that transition period. And I was talking to Mel. I was like, if Renaissance represented crying through the trauma, and Cowboy Carter represented licking your wounds after getting to the other side, wouldn't it make sense that the rock and roll album that I'm excited for, Act 3, I'm going to go back to London a third time, but this time, just slightly rich. It feels full circle. And by slightly, I always joke slightly rich because unless you're a millionaire, to me, you're not rich. I'm 100,000-aire, right? A bitch is doing well though. Yes. And as someone who's thriving to the point where I now have 8 people on payroll, that's not a flex. It's just me remembering to pay my taxes this quarter. Fuck me. Okay. Sorry. ADHD. So, because Cowboy Carter was such a turning point, I have to wait until Beyonce's back to go to London. That was a long medicated way of saying, if you hear Beyonce is in London, assume the Bluecentric meet and greet is right behind that shit. Assume it. Okay. All right. Now that we're done with that detour, let's talk about Married at First Sight. And we're going to talk about each couple one by one. And we're going to play a quick game, guys. We're starting out at 21:44 minutes, Married at First Sight. It's a podcast. I always ramble for 15 to 20 minutes before we get the show started because it's a fucking podcast. So if you made it to 21:44, I want to talk about each couple one at a time. And I want to play a game with you guys. If you had to bet which couple reminds me like 80+% of a relationship that I've been in, which couple do you think it would be? Where's my phone? If you had to guess which, because there's only one couple that I relate to in the entire franchise. Mind you, when it comes to Married at First Sight, I can go an entire season without relating to anybody, right? But this season, there happens to be one couple that I relate to and they scare the shit out of me. It scares me how much I relate to them. His reactions, her reactions, on the nose. I've told stories about how much I relate to them. So we are going to go couple by couple. And as we go, I'm going to see if you guys can guess which couple it is. Okay, let's start. Let me take this down. Again, bluepop26.eventbrite.com. All right, let's put it on.
What I will never
Okay, actually, let me rewind a little bit. Couple number 1. Hold on. Ooh, did I let it play for too long? I had it so perfectly queued up. Oh, this is what I get for doing the live medicated. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to let Pastor Cal run his mouth for a second just to catch us up where we are. Sorry about that, guys. But the couples are... If you are somebody who likes to play gender wars, this is not the episode for you. I mean, because you're going to find it hard to defend anybody, male or female. And one of the people in the couple likes to pretend that gender binaries explain who sucks and who doesn't. She's wrong. You guys know who I'm talking about. All right, let's start. Married at First Sight, for those who don't know, the premise is 2 to 3 experts will come together to take some extensive testing around compatibility, family norms, hopes, dreams, desires, turn-offs, turn-ons. And they used to say it's an FBI level of planning and testing. Using these FBI level tests, these professional matchmakers, many of them have a mental health degree of some sort, will then choose 2 couples to matchmake based on shared beliefs. That couple gets married and meets at the altar. It's the opposite of Love is Blind. Love is Blind is you get engaged immediately and the show ends with the wedding. Married at First Sight is the show begins with the wedding. It subverts it, right? And because the show begins with the wedding, you're saying I do 30 seconds after figuring out if you could even stand to look at their face, right? The first couple of seasons were actually kind of groundbreaking. We're going to get into that towards the end, but it has devolved and now moved from Lifetime to Peacock. The first couple we're going to do, because this is it's almost like Love Island. When you're watching Love Island and you see them with a couple that goes first or a groom that goes first, you always wonder, this guy is probably going to in some way be a big storyline, because they usually start with somebody who has a big storyline. So the first couple is Adam and Marissa. Now, the thing about Adam and Marissa, let's take a quick look at these pictures that we have up, right? And I'm going to hide the comments so we can see what the bottom says. It says here, Adam and Marissa, from jet skis to grand gestures, these 2 are on the same wavelength. Very hilarious wordplay. And for Adam and Marissa, first of all, with this African neck piece and these colors and my hair up, I feel like a professor, like an Africana studies professor. I feel like we're good. If you add a little bit of wrinkles around the eyes, I like to laugh, you're getting a glimpse into me at like 60. Just with a high bun and ridiculous coloring and an African print pillow behind me to help me out with my bad back, just talking about theory and pop culture. Jesus, I just literally got deja vu. Anyways, so we're seeing Marissa and Adam. And my first thought when I saw Adam is he's either gay, a serial killer, or both? It was giving American, what is that show? American Gangster, not American Gangster, American Dream. What's the show about the serial killers? American something? American Hero? You guys, what is it called? Okay, now you're gonna make me look it up. American something show serial killer. Yes, guys, this is how I look up things. American something. What's it called? Not American Horror Story. You guys, what is it? Let me look and see if the chat figured it out. Well, sometimes, yeah. American Psycho. Thank you. It was giving sorry, I was about to say American Pie, and that's a very different. American Psycho. He very much reminds me of American Psycho, guys. And I love y'all saying American Horror Story. And because he reminds me of American Psycho, my first thing was, I hope he's not frigid. So let's first look into Amanda and what the boy name? Adam. There we go. You guys, I am not good with names. Okay? I am not good with names. And by the way, we're just joining us.
What I will never understand is how Adam slipped through the cracks and got to continue with this process on Married at First Sight on Netflix.
Y'all, I think we need to be ready to ride out for Marissa because something in my heart is telling me that Adam's gonna be with the mess. I think
the minute I looked at Adam, I was like, I'm nervous about him getting mad and eating someone's face. He makes me very nervous.
Adam is a financially set. He make money, boatload of money. He got a house on the lake. He's ready for his and her matching jet skis. Experts asked him why you're not married, and this is what took me aback because he blamed it on women. He said these women are not disciplined. They out here partying and drinking. They don't want to be married. They don't want to settle down. I said, whoa. I beg to differ. If a woman came across you and you were willing to take care of her financially, you had all your life together, I don't see why she wouldn't settle down. But this is his experience, so nonetheless, go on. So the experts say, bro, we found your wife. In 2 weeks, you're getting married. However, we need you to call your side quest, the girl that you've been seeing, and tell her you're getting married. Now, what gagged me was that he didn't want to make that phone call. You find out you're getting married. You said you...
This is why you have to ask men questions. When you talk to men, you can't just say, are you single? That we all know that's rookie. What you have to know, he looks like a face eater. I'm not even going to hold you. That man scares me. I'm not scared very often. What I think is crazy is when you ask a man if he's single, that's not enough. You have to ask him, is there anybody, a woman in particular, who would be upset that we are on this date? You have to be that specific because of the semantics game. You could be going on 12-hour dates with a nigga and he'll be like, we never dated. I've seen my story time. So when they said, hey, is there anybody you're spending time with? He's like, no, but there's a girl who I fuck and hang out with and she stays at my house sometimes. And the expert's like, Paul, the black guy, he's like, so you're not going to tell the lady that's been sleeping with you and staying over your house that you're about to get married on television? And he was like, do I have to? Ladies, seriously? Are you serious right now?
Always wanted to be married, and you have to call this other woman and tell her, I'm getting married. I can no longer, talk to you anymore. And you don't want to do that? And then he downplays their whole relationship and he's like, oh, it's not that deep. We just see each other from time to time. So I don't think she's really going to care. The expert finally gets him to make that call. This girl is pissed off. She called him a fucking joke. Something's not right with him. He's not giving us the full story and the full picture. And I feel like we're going to have to be ready to protect Marissa because I think she's going to go through the ringer with this one. But what y'all think?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
So it's time for the weddings, y'all. Y'all know I like to do a nice little ADHD edit.
Procedure, everyone. What's the procedure? Stay calm.
We left off with Marissa revealing that she knew Adam, and
so here's the big cliffhanger. Marissa and Adam get to the altar, and the cliffhanger is dun dun dun. Oh my God, I know him. So imagine you're in Portland or Seattle. They're in Seattle. Imagine you're in Seattle. You go on a show, a nationally syndicated show, a huge international global franchise, and they can pick any woman in your area, and you end up being matched with a girl whose number you already asked for.
honestly, it's not even a crazy story. They met at a bar, exchanged numbers, but nothing ever happened from it. Sit down and talk after the wedding, and Marissa asked him how he liked her gift. And you could tell that he was trying to nicely say that he did not like it. He told her that he doesn't drink, and she was just like, okay. Then we get to the reception. And Marissa's best friend gives a speech. And I kid you not, her speech was about how Marissa loves to take naps. It's mandatory for her. She does her best.
Let me tell you, I found everybody's horoscopes. We're going to talk about astrology towards the end for the astrology girlies. Marissa's the only one who they could not figure out what her sign is. She got Taurus somewhere in her chart. Marissa has some sort of Taurus or Cancer like placement in her chart. I would bet cash money on it. The girl said, I like me a good nap. In fact, we'll later talk about it. The biggest argument in her relationship with Adam is, nigga, why won't you let me nap? What do you mean you want me to work out 3 hours a day? Are you fucking kidding me? I know my people. She prioritizes sleep, and I get it.
That's work, being horizontal, like sleeping. She loves microwavable mac and cheese. No lie, no exaggeration.
They said she likes naps and easy food. I rest my case. I know my people.
This was Adam's face when he was listening to her speech. At the reception, he also played her like 2 songs on the piano, and her friends could not stop laughing. He sits down and she's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to watch my favorite movie, Pride and Prejudice, because they played the piano all the time throughout the movie. He seemed to not mind watching the movie with her, but like also he just kind of seems like he's like kind of starting to regret it after like learning a little bit more about who she is. I don't know. It could be just still first impressions, but these two seem to not mesh well at all.
I'm sorry, who does he think he is?
Hot shit.
Who does he think he is exactly? He must think he's the hottest, most bachelor. This.
I can't help it, but I think they both look like beavers to me, and I can't unsee it. Every time I see them, it feels like a live action rendition of Berenstain Bears. Like beavers or just really huffy. You guys know the Berenstain Bears? I know, guys. I apologize. This is an ADHD. I mean, God, the edibles are kicking in. This is an ADHD deep cut. But look at this couple and tell me they don't look like this to you. They look like the Berenstain Bears to me. Every time Adam gets mad or they get into an argument, all I see is this. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture. Oh, there's a whole Berenstain Bear fandom. No. I don't want to see the fandom. Yeah. This is all I see. If they have kids, it'll just be the Berenstain Bear family. Nobody else is seeing it? Okay. It's the nose. Okay, look at the Berenstain Bears. And then look at this one. Nigga, that's the same. I'm so sorry. I don't care how strong this edible is. That's the same fucking nigga. So, I'm sorry. Okay, I shouldn't have done this inebriated. Okay, you know what? Shout out to legally obtained medication. Let's continue with the recap. Bridget's coming on soon.
Married at First Sight has ever seen. Why does he think he's such a hot cake? I play the piano. He plays piano for 10 hours. Okay. I own it. Sir, you're full of yourself. You're just full of yourself. I'm getting sleepy watching you because this is just straight up, to me, this is narcissistic behavior. And I'm only on episode 2. Yeah. So I can only imagine.
He did a whole Beethoven concert at the wedding. Didn't engage with her, was just doing a concert that nobody bought tickets for.
I'm worried. I'm worried for my girl. I'm worried for her. I think he thinks he's too hot. He's too hot to handle. Wrong show, baby. You're on the wrong show. Oh, I hope this gets better, but I don't think him. Run, girl. Well, you're married now, so divorce, girl.
How would you pair someone that does not drink at all with somebody that clearly does and likes to have a good time? They wrong.
I've realized every time I date someone with fuckboy tendencies and control issues, they don't drink. I'm just gonna put that out there. Mind you, I don't drink much at all. I drink like maybe 1 or 2 drinks a month, if even. And still, every time I'm with a guy and he is committed to being the nice guy, is a control freak, obsessed with how he's perceived, but has no integrity to back it up when it matters and no one's looking, he does not drink. I'm starting to have not an ick, but I'm starting to be nervous around men who refuse to ever drink, because instead of it being about health, it's usually about control in a way that I'm going to end up paying for.
On pure timing on this season of Married at First Sight. Who had the bright idea to pair them up? Just off top, they do not seem like they're about to last. To be honest, they should have just paired him with his grand piano, because even on his wedding day, he would not separate from it. This man played multiple songs, and at the bachelor party as well. And I thought it was hilarious how her friends were just laughing. Because if you don't get down here right now and stop embarrassing us at this wedding ceremony, are you the entertainment? Or are you here because we got married? Like,
that part.
I know they just doing stuff on this new season because we'll see what happens.
Adam's wearing a flowered shirt that looks like it's straight out of that 70s show.
So Adam now has this thing where he asserts his dominance in a space where he doesn't have enough charisma to take up space. He'll just show up in a wild outfit, and the experts would later call out, Adam, you wearing loud outfits, the group marriage therapy sessions is starting to feel really heavy-handed and manipulative. But here are some of the outfits.
And then he's got a hat on that has pheasant feathers in it.
Other people started coming in, and then he was explaining to them, and I was like, oh, he has a conversation piece. That's what this is. He doesn't know what to talk about. He doesn't want to talk about his relationship with other people. So he just needs to dress so ridiculously that people can't help but ask, what's with the getup?
What's with the hat?
What's with the hat? It always comes back to what's with the hat.
What's with the hat? That's a Sister Wives deep track. The most egregious part of the whole thing to me is the tags that he keeps leaving on all his clothes.
Yeah.
Are we planning to return them?
Is this a Lisa Barlow accusation that we have flying around?
He's banned from Nordstrom, just like Lisa Barlow.
Paul was pissed clean the fuck off when Adam showed up to the group dinner in this ridiculous outfit.
Yep.
Ridiculous outfit.
And Paul is the new black therapist. And he's interesting. He wears very cozy sweaters. Very cozy sweater.
He was right. This is his way to like control the room, to have all the attention on him. Like, he's not taking this whole experiment seriously. You see him being like this one way with Marissa, like he's just super like, yeah, babe, like everything's like, you know, vibing. And it's like this man really doesn't like that girl. You can tell. I mean, look the way that he drew her. And you have literally women in the comments like, oh, it was just a prank. It's just a funny thing. He sat there and said that his family are
Y'all, look at this picture. A man who likes to peacock and is so crippled with anxiety about controlling his public image, he'd rather make himself an intentional clown than risk being sincere and being judged. That's the psychology behind why he wears those outfits, right? I'd rather control the narrative by dressing so egregiously, you can't reject me because I've already rejected the idea of looking good. He'd rather do that than just be sincere and be rejected normally, the way all of us have to deal with every fucking day. But a man that sensitive draws her looking like Cookie Monster on acid. Granted, it does kind of look like her. I'm not gonna hold you. It's fucked up, but I think it looking like her, but being fucked up makes it worse because that means you see me and you're intentionally trying to clown me. This actually looks like her. Just a really fucked up, I hate you version of her.
artists, right? And this is what he draws her with, these scary looking face, her nose fucked up, her teeth fucked up, and saying cooked. There's a lot of truth in these jokes. That's the sad part, and y'all don't catch it. That's why you have these men that secretly hate you, and they pick at you and they do little things, and you're like, oh, it's just a joke. He's just being funny. Mind you, the whole time they're trying to literally knock you down. Talking about it's a joke. Okay, that man doesn't really like her. Like, that wasn't cute. That's not funny. Like, that's just kind of, that was odd to me.
Marissa, girl, he don't like you.
No, he don't like you.
I have seen better artwork from people from the school of the visually impaired.
Oh.
I have seen better artwork from toddlers who have just received their first box of crayons.
Wait, what?
He is intentionally trying to tell you that this is how he sees you. Yikes. And he wrote the word cooked above your face.
Cooked.
He's trying to tell you. He's doing it through actions and not through words. Did y'all see her cat hair infused massage?
Oh.
Yes. I didn't think.
Okay, did anybody else notice this? Y'all know I'm a skincare girly. I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. Okay, let's talk about the cat hair oil body massage.
I think he could top the steak being fed by hand, but not only did he draw this horrible portrait of her, but he had oil out to massage her. The cat sat on her. He picked up the cat with his oiled hands and then proceeded to massage her with cat hairs more than likely stuck to his hand. I think Adam is there for a good time, to be on TV, to see who they give him. Then he wants to run this.
I'm so sorry. You hate me. When you're covering my body in oil and cat hair after drawing me orange And with a thing that says cook, nigga, you despise me. You hate my guts.
Lady off, and she's really there for the right reasons. And like I said from the start, like his family not being there, and then like his whole dating history that he was going through.
But he asked for her number though. That's the thing that's crazy. He asked for her number previously. Although if he's somebody who's a commitment phobe, he doesn't care if he's attracted to you.
With the matchmakers, very sus. So I don't think he wants to really be in a committed marriage.
I guess we got to talk about Marissa and Adam. God knows, I'm tired. So episode 10, they're trying to get serious after the group therapy.
You guys, I'm about to go get a heating pad before Bridget comes on, so I'm going to come down and just let this play.
They're supposed to ask each other questions. Adam starts off with, oh, I just feel so misunderstood because people think I'm so surface level that I only care about jet skis and pickleball and the piano. Meanwhile, he's like, yeah, underneath, like, I'm like really intelligent, but like I keep that hidden. You do really well at keeping that hidden. You are top notch at keeping intelligence hidden. Wow. She asked him that deep question. His return deep question is, I even forgot what it was about. It was just about sex. And it literally irritated the fuck out of me. Like, I genuinely wanted to change the scene. And they end the whole thing joking about having a threesome with Felipe. Like, when I tell you, I'm so over Marissa being a yes man to Adam, it's disgusting. You want to know what else is disgusting? His fashion. Lack of fashion. So they go shopping. And the way this man dresses intentionally, I don't understand it. Now, fashion is self-expression, but I'm trying to understand what exactly is it that you're trying to express? That you're different? That you're bold? I don't know. I do not get it. Mind you, this is somebody who, like, in his tapes came off like damn near Bruce Wayne, right? Like, he lives in this huge house by the water and he has a bunch of money and he's like sober and so disciplined. The whole time he's giving Joker, the Riddler even. I do not understand what that is. And what's even worse is that Marissa is entertaining it and egging it on, despite knowing that that's not the shit that she likes. And yes, she explains later, like, oh yeah, like, I would get in trouble if I didn't do this, like people pleasing. But girl, the shit that you're saying that you like, because she's like, I like your bachelor pad, like, I like your man cave, I love your swim socks. Why are you actually telling him that you love all this shit that you clearly do not like? We saw where you live, babe. We saw where you live. I do not understand. Now we're in episode 11, but like now I'm really thinking about them fucking swim socks and I'm getting irritated because the fuck do you have socks on in the water for? And everybody is treating this like this is normal. Like this is not normal behavior. Like we need an eval. We need an eval. So they meet up with Nick and Courtney to do couples pickleball, right? So not only do you not care about the fact that like this is not something that your partner is really interested in, right? You are so obtuse that you don't even, or so arrogant and self-absorbed that you don't even care that this is something that your partner isn't interested in because you are interested in it. You now get there, you start playing couple versus couple. And instead of just enjoying the fact of we're doing something together, it's, hey, can you get to the back? You're fucking up my game in front of my friends. Like, this is my pickleball court. They know me here. You're fucking up the game. To the back. Don't be.
Okay, I'm back with my heating pad, guys. And I just want to pause on this part. Can you imagine going on a couples pickleball game night with your friends and your man is playing and he says, oh, bitch, you suck, and pushes you backwards? Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you crazy? I think for this, we need to have Bridget up on stage because, hold on.
Be offended if I get some off the back.
We get Bridget on. Bridget, welcome, Bridget Kelly. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, Bridget, I'm fighting for my life. I literally had to get up to get. Oh, I can't hear you. Your computer muted. Not muted. I can't even say the word mute, child. Try your sound, my love. Sing when you think we can hear you so they can all hear your voice, and put the comments back on. Guys, I'm literally getting a heating pad. You want to talk about how committed I am? Okay, we're back. You and my heating pad, same time, perfect timing.
All right. How are we doing? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
There we go. Hi, guys.
Okay, I was.
Hi, my love. Oh, I'm so sad. I know you are fighting for your life, my girl.
They're showing you love. Bitson says, BK.
Mitson, hi, babe.
I'm fighting from. Oh, they're saying Adam wants a man. Well, we're gonna continue the.
Listen. I have notes for every single couple, so I've been watching gradually because I had to get myself together. I have to unpack my stuff today, but girl,
Adam, they're saying Adam wants a girlfriend, and we're getting now to the pickleball of it all because we want to show what happened during that date. I thought he was American Psycho from the beginning. You know, he's one of the many closeted homosexuals that I believe are on the show. We're gonna wait until the members only to discuss how you do it. Be who you are. But this is gonna be a long live because guys, what and the fuck is going on with the men? Everybody sucks.
Everybody sucks, dog. Everybody sucks.
Of Adam and Marissa. Before you started playing, what was your gut reaction of them?
I was like, oh, they're pretty. I guess. But I don't like. They're not. They're just conventionally attractive. They're not.
I think they look like Berenstein Bears.
All right, that's just rude. Now,
Adam, look up a picture of Adam on your phone right now. Right here is Adam.
I don't like his mustache. His mustache really irritates me.
It's bear-like.
It reminds me of Yellowstone, and I love a Dutton family show. So
wait, how is my Africana professor giving you Afro Latina? I look like Maya Angelou's third cousin. What are you talking about? Continue. Yes, it's very a mess.
It's very a mess. But I when I first saw them interacting with each other, though, I thought, okay, maybe they'll both be a little superficial.
Oh, wait a minute, turn the volume down. Your volume is up high.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is it that? Okay, hit it.
No, I'll back up a little. No, so when I first saw them, I thought, you know what? They'll be a great couple if they're both really superficial and neither one of them is interested in actual connectivity. That was what I got. Like he's compensating for something with all of these activities, all of this productivity. Like he's hiding from something. He's running from something, I think.
I think it's homosexuality or psychosis, but let's continue with the video.
Narcissism.
What is happening here? Love that Nick points out, hey, I know all these things about Adam, and I don't know a fuck thing about Marissa. Like, I don't even know what the girl likes to do for fun. Nobody knows anything about Marissa aside from her being Adam's wife. Ain't that?
Although we do know from the wedding that Marissa likes to sleep. She likes naps and the Kraft microwavable mac and cheese. They mentioned that at the wedding. I'm perceiving she might have Taurus in her chart, BK.
I have questions about the criteria for being eligible to be a wife and a husband. I think the plot has shifted from finding people eligible to be in a marriage partnership to are these people able to get married? Because why are the things that we needed to highlight the fact that she likes to take naps and she eats microwavable mac and cheese? What about those things tells me that she should find a husband? Neither of those things. That sounds like she's in kindergarten. That doesn't sound like she should.
Oh, wait a minute. I like naps and mac and cheese. When cheese came over, I had a cup of the mac and cheese on the counter.
You also have a job. You work.
Wait a minute, that's true. I don't live.
I have not seen any of these people actually talk about, aside from Felipe, talk about a job. God. Nobody goes to work. Everybody, like, I want to know how Adam really gets his money. Because why does Adam live this eligible bachelor life with all of these?
I think he works in tech or porn hub.
Okay. Well, the stash would indicate it's the latter. So I'm with you on that. But I'm actually, after this last episode, I'm looking at the professionals a little crazy. I'm looking at them a little crazy with some.
We're going to get into that in a second because I want to make sure we go couple by couple. So for Adam and Marissa, what is your gut on their probability of 1 to 10 of staying together, if you had to say?
0.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm giving it a 0.
Wow. Okay, somebody said the group therapy session was such a palate cleanser. The group therapy session has been hotly contested. We're gonna get
bitch. I just find it so pissed.
All right, so we're gonna fast forward to, because I'm tired of talking about Adam and Marissa. We're gonna fast forward, and now this is gonna actually take you guys to do some active listening. We're fast forwarding to Mecca and what's her name? Belle Julie. She was so pretty. They had to call her pretty. Hold on, let this lady finish.
And high intensity, and you're not like that, and y'all are in a marriage. Marissa, yeah, pretty much. Babe, that's like so tough. Like, that's cooked, babe.
First of all, his use of the word cooked and him drawing her as cooked. How would you feel if your husband drew you looking the way Marissa looked in that picture?
Let me tell you right now, we are getting a divorce.
If that's how you see me,
how you see me looks like you made my face with mac and cheese. We are fighting on site. Now it's on site. It looked like one of those pictures that a kid makes with the macaroni, with the dried, when they hate you with the dried macaroni. Why would you do that? Why would you do? That's what you think I look like? With the eyebrows like this? You gave me owl eyebrows?
The worst part is it looks like her, just a bad her. So it'd be worse if it didn't look anything like her. The fact that it just looks like an ugly version of her.
And he was laughing, looking for her to laugh at it. That was the worst part to me, is like, you weren't embarrassed. You weren't embarrassed that was your product. That was your finished product.
I think the whole point was for her to be embarrassed, unfortunately.
Sorry you have to go through that. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He don't care. Marissa, if you want to live up under that man who don't give a damn about you and wake up early and turn yourself into this fit, athletic wife, girl, that's what you want, go do it. If not, stand up. Stand up. You got 3 weeks to do it. Stand up.
Now we're going to be talking about Belle Jolie and Mecca. The title of their relationship is If Love Had a Soundtrack. These two would be on the same playlist. Bridget, I'm going to ask you before we even play, be honest, even though we're not in a members only area yet. What do you think of Belle Jolie singing?
Like I said, people don't have jobs. And I would
Bridget,
Bridget. I would like us all to consider the state of the economy, and also, again, I'm not gonna comment on her singing because that's actually a non-factor to me.
I asked you a question. What do you think of her singing professionally? Because it's been hotly debated, and so we have a professional to give their input.
I don't think I heard enough to formulate an actual opinion. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. I heard a couple.
So let's play some right now. Let's all play some right now, Bridget.
Go for it.
There was this one girl where we were intimate, and she thought that my line of work was messing up her pH balance.
Well, hold on on that. Hold on. The rules you breaking, reflect what you're so tempting.
You're right there.
Perfect.
Beautiful gowns.
Okay.
Your bride has arrived.
Now, some people are saying the way that he looked at her when he turned around wasn't pleasing, but she's a pretty girl, so it could have just been nervous.
Our matching experts have paired.
So, your first gut reaction, don't worry, we will be talking about her accessories in a second, but what was your first gut reaction of Belle Jolie and Mecca at the altar?
I actually thought my first impression, I actually thought they looked pleasantly surprised upon seeing each other. I actually thought they didn't come across as incompatible in the beginning. But I have to remind myself, having been on reality TV, having been on unscripted television, that 9 times out of 10, when you are used to existing and reacting to things, cameras add another layer of distraction to what your natural reaction might be. So that may not actually be the natural reaction. He looked like he saw cameras before he saw her. And so
actually, you know what he saw instead of cameras? He saw that necklace.
You know what? I want her to give that necklace back to Princess Peach. I want her to give her back to Princess Peach in Super Mario Brothers, because
that necklace, we actually have an interview with the necklace coming up. But that necklace, Bridget and I were together when we watched the first 4 episodes, and everybody in the room gasped.
It upset me that her homegirls and her sister did not make another suggestion. Like, we didn't have We didn't even get to see the other options. I would have loved another option. I would have just loved another option.
Bridget, I can't trust anybody who thought the necklace was nice and got the matching plastic earrings with the white
Well,
plastic.
her mother's name is Violent, so I would like us to guarantee a little bit of grace to their bloodline, because they were already starting off a little questionable with choices. So listen, pretty is pretty.
They look like cousins to me. So yes, you know those couples that look like they're related. They're one of those cute, like light skinned couples that looks related and artsy and shit. And sometimes they're tacky, but you can tell they're trying to be their local Beyonce and Jay-Z. So you let them.
Honestly, the two of them, whoever greenlit these accessories, they are entitled to compensation. Mecca and Belle are entitled to compensation for having to go through this hell with all of these accessories, because he is not any better with the accessories as we
or
have
the
seen.
Socks or the plaid with the they're both loud.
Right? You have so many textures and fabrics. There's a lot of materials. It's a lot of materials.
They're both. I'm gonna say this respectfully. They're both attractive and tacky.
Yes.
It's giving a spoof of like the early 2000s. If like a Gen Alpha was trying to spoof the 2000s and just made everybody look like Lizzie McGuire on acid. It's very loud and tacky, trying to be rock and roll fashion.
That necklace felt like maybe she wanted to, in her heart of hearts, walk down the aisle in a peplum top with a high-waisted belt on it from the early 2000s, like business casual.
We're going to pause this part because this part, guys, we're going to ask everybody, Bridget included, if you have a notes app or pen and paper, this is going to be a 5-minute lecture on the socio ramifications of this pairing. We only have 2 of these. It's for the 2 Black women couples because I want Black women to be handled a little bit differently on these shows, at least here, since nobody else handles this well on these shows. So are you guys ready for this quick tutorial? Y'all ready to get smarter? Because the whole point of the show is edutainment, right? All right, I'm going to be taking notes. BK, you be taking notes. I made it a point not to watch the entire thing so I could learn with y'all. Let's talk about the breakdown about these archetypes, particularly as it impacts Black women.
The sweet, bubbly Belle Jolie with the goofy and stylish Mecca. This pairing on many levels makes a lot of sense. It is very understandable why production thought we would be rooting for them. They seem to embody #BlackBoyJoy and #BlackLove. But we don't make it out of the wedding or the honeymoon without flagging a major problem that is plaguing American dating. This has to do with a very human impulse, which is to use your relationship to mitigate insecurities you might feel, or making those insecurities somebody else's problem. So you've met the couple, let's set the scene of what's been going on. Belle Jolie is a recording artist and singer who is very ready to be matched with a husband. She is open and vulnerable about the reality that her absentee father, who she has tried to make contact with over the years, is not interested in a relationship with her. Mecca connects with this because he has his own version of this trauma. His birth mother is not a part of his life either. His father Logic and his stepmother have been the primary parental figures in his life.
We both thought Logic was very attractive until he kept talking, but at first we thought he was very attractive. Did you have anything you want to say before I continue the lesson plan? Okay. It took a turn. I take it back.
And when they divorced, he had to separate from his siblings. Belle Jolie really vibes with Mecca from the beginning. He's a hardworking, multi-talented Black man who openly talks about how he is in sanitation and he cleans porta potties for a living. In this edit, we hear him confidently tell his bride and the other men that he meets during the meetups, someone's got to do it. Production does something that I think is a little sneaky in that they don't tell us right away that Mecca is part of a family business. We are kind of led to believe that this will be a point of comparison between the other men in this season who are tech bros or come from family wealth or just have like more snazzy jobs. There are restaurant owners and sports guys. It becomes clearer a little later when he sits down for his one-on-one that he's very grateful and happy and proud of his family and the fact that he has the privilege of having this job with a Black-owned family company. This is the only major porta potty company or sanitation company in this part of the region that is owned by a Black family. And those people, Mecca's family. We will learn later that Mecca and Belle Jolie, by extension of being married to this man, are being sized up and considered for ownership of the company in the future. This is a serious inheritance and business, and Belle Jolie is very proud of Mecca and his family. It has been said that the seed of destruction for every relationship is present from day one. So we're going to go back to the wedding. I think what happens at the wedding helps us decode the future conflict and sort of the social political dramas that both of them are bringing to this partnership. These two from the jump at the wedding are delighted, happy, matching energy. They seem to clearly be attracted to each other. They meet at the altar as one does in this show. What's touching is they both give each other a lot of grace and encouragement as they navigate their first night together. And they sorely need it at this wedding reception. There are some troubling themes and patterns that are revealed through Mecca's dad, Logic, who's present at the wedding. Logic uses every chance he gets to nag, humble, or poke fun at his son. It was very uncomfortable watching this older man use his influence to undermine rather than build his son up in order to affirm himself.
You clearly had an erection up there. No, I did not. You were lying.
You guys, I inserted some clips in here to show her points because I got to the part where I was scrolling and I heard her mention Logic, so I paused because, Logic is interesting to me. He said, you had a boner at the aisle. And he's like, no, the fuck I didn't.
Hello.
Hello. When his son first says hello to the bride, he even mocks that. Bridget, what are your thoughts around Logic and the negging that we're seeing leading up to and even during and right after the wedding?
My heart hurts for Mecca because Mecca very visibly needs and wants love that he was not given. And I think his father now, we don't know his dad's story, right? Like, I don't know his dad's history or whatever, but knowing that Mecca's biological mother left and the stepmother left the father lets me know that the common denominator here is the father, right?
The pappy. Mm-hmm.
He the pappy, and he might be the problem. The pappy might be the problem. Mm-hmm. But also now seeing Mecca put himself out there, not just on a television show, but just in life in general, right? Trying to continue to bring honor and legacy and to the legacy of his family name through this family business, right? With pride, no less. I mean, he lightly jokes about the idea of cleaning porta potties, but doesn't boast about the fact that it's the only black owned business that of that nature in that field for statewide or possibly multiple statewide that's close to in proximity to them, which is a big deal. So I think he kind of downplays it himself. That's the first time you see him downplay something after watching his dad downplay him and degrade him in front of people like that.
I wonder if him dressing like a clown is his way of trying to peacock like his father without actually having to use his personality. Because one of the things that I do find off-putting about his father is in places where intimacy makes sense are the places where he always drags him. Instead of being intimate, he makes a deprecating joke at his son's expense. And Mecca's one of those people who he's attractive. So he knows that girls are going to be attracted to him, but he doesn't trust himself or believe that he's been equipped with enough internal tools to get them to stay. And so imagine if you're the kind of person that everybody's attracted to, but nobody wants to stay with.
But also you come from a line of the only parent that you have that's supposed to be the shining example of someone that's worthy of love doesn't even deem you worthy of love. Every chance he gets, he minimizes you and tries to take your shine.
I think his father is jealous of him in the same way that you'll sometimes hear girls say that their mothers are jealous of them. I've seen it with women. Seeing it with a male relationship like this, I think it's the first time we've seen it in a reality show quite this loud because they tend to focus on the hating moms. His daddy is like an old model from the 90s who has a fine daughter, but wants to let her know at every chance that he gets, girl, you're not that fucking cute. So let's continue with the video.
Mecca has serious mommy issues, and then he has an overbearing, outspoken, creepy father coupled in. And this is why he's the way he is. These last 3 episodes that dropped with the honeymoon and moving in together, he keeps trying to friend zone Belgelier. And I'm not sure if it's that he's not into her or that he's afraid that she could potentially leave him. Like, he's afraid of commitment. He's afraid of falling in love with somebody because women in his life tend to leave. So I believe where Mecca started to doubt his relationship with Belle was when his father put it in his head that she would full on tongue kiss him if she was into him, right? Mm-hmm. And because Belle didn't do that, somehow it triggered something in him. And he's starting to question question himself. I think he feels very insecure.
He spends the majority of his dad's speech detailing all the things Mecca has started and then failed to do. The joke and the punchline is Mecca failing and floundering. At the very end, he throws in something about but he's loving and all this. Not the sign of a confident man, not a great role model, but Mecca really looks up to him. I've yet to notice anyone else clocking this, but Belgelie's mother gets up and for her speech, she takes a moment to do what a lot of Black women do, which is come in and save the day. She specifically takes time out of her speech to address Mecca and build him up. In that sort of tragic, having to be the emotional center and hold people together way, she is seeing his pain when everyone else is kind of just running over it. If you look closely, you could tell she is disturbed by Logic's behavior. She was sensitive to the fact that a young black man is not only being humiliated in front of his peers and a group of people he just met, but national television on Peacock. Mecca was moved by this encouragement and the way she built him up, and he would need this because Logic would continue his antics throughout the night, including...
You guys, pause for a second. I just had an epiphany, and Bridget, I don't know if this struck you as well. So at the wedding, first meeting, the father acts out, Mecca's father acts out, and then Belle Jolie's mother jumps up to soothe him and the situation. That's literally how their relationship would end up playing out. They're both acting like the parents who stayed while damaged by the ones who left.
Bingo.
Jesus wept.
I do think that the issues are the same but different. Yeah. Because I do think that for women, for Black women in particular, Black women are much more inclined to overcare and overgive, whereas with Black men, they piecemeal. They piecemeal because
we're anxious, they're avoidant. Yep.
Right. It is literally, I mean, it's painful to watch. And I love that Belle really goes to bat and advocates for Mecca publicly every chance she gets, right? And the only time you ever see her say anything transparently about how she might be feeling, how she might be triggered, is in their own private sessions. I respect that thoroughly about her. And I also think that it's unfortunate to watch on shows like this, that dynamic play out the way that it does, where a Black woman, a Black mother comes in and is like, don't worry, baby, it's okay. Like, you're okay here. You're safe here. Like, the need to reassure play out in real time, because this man who is just a grown child who has a son who is now in this position, at no point do you hear him say or lead with, I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to see, in spite of everything you've overcome and faced, you are now in this position and you're doing great. There's no moment of that between him and his dad.
That's what we were saying earlier about how every time where you're supposed to have that moment is the time where he makes a deprecating joke. I think it's interesting, though. Can we be honest? As a woman who strongly believes that you don't embarrass your partner, regardless of gender, whether it's man, how you doing, or another woman, and I agree with her tactic, because that's the tactic. Like, we'll talk about it at home. I think, Bridget, you and I have this in common. And however, have you ever been in a relationship where you looked back and realized sometimes you were lying? Sometimes you were defending him and getting mad at his perceived slight to show your allegiance to him, even though deep down you thought he was wrong too. And I think the perfect example of that is when Mecca I remember watching the episode of Mecca saying something, and we're not going to jump ahead. We're going to get to what he said. He said something really hurtful to her privately. But when he was asked to share about the status of their relationship, despite knowing that he had hurt her, rather than be honest that he had his first misstep with speaking in a way that caused her harm, he instead put on a performance of, yeah, my girl is fine as hell. Look at that booty. I just want to jump her. I'm so aroused by how amazing she is. And it was performative. And got called out for being performative. And rather than her admit, nigga, you lied on me. Like, you made me feel like shit. You made me feel unattractive behind closed doors. And in the next breath told everybody how attracted you are to me. That's a direct lie, right? That's a direct lie. Rather than her understand that they were coming to her defense by calling out how performative he was, she instead got mad on his behalf, even though she was covering a lie that hurt her. And I was like, oh my God, I've been there before, where I'm talking to someone who's disrespectful. My friends are upset on my behalf, but my first instinct is still to cape for him. Has that ever happened to you?
All the time.
Oh, shit.
All the time.
Bridget,
all the time. And all the time. Oh, girl, all the time. But I think it's important to recognize that in those moments, right? There are two things that have to happen behind closed doors. You check that shit behind closed doors. You check it assertively, and with bass in your voice. You check that shit, and the way that you earn the respect that grants you the bass in your voice is by protecting and shielding him outside of the room, the private room between the two of y'all.
But instead, she lied behind closed doors and got mad with him.
Right. She got mad with him and behind closed doors. But I also think she is still also learning how to use her own voice and advocate for herself. I don't think she fully knows how to do that. To your point, she's just like her mother, where it's like, I'm going to protect. Think about it. Think about the fact that Belle met her father. She tells us how she met her father when she was 20 years old, right? And tried to establish a relationship with him. Imagine the lies that her mother told her for 20 years of her life to even let her get to a place where she had hope and excitement to meet a man who abandoned her at 20 years old. Think about the amount of lies she was told about who that man was to even have an interest. And now she's lying.
Oh, Lord.
Including inappropriately sexualizing Belle Jolie. Women are sexualized all the time, but the function of that sexualization can change depending on the social setting. Logic is using the sexualization of Belle Jolie to rank and grade his son.
He was definitely flirting with her at the wedding, and it gave me the ick.
The first way he does this is through the kiss at the altar. Belle Jolie decides she wants to go slow. She's just going to do a cheek kiss. She has no idea that Mecca, in a room before he's even met her, has also come to a similar conclusion. He's going to read the room and give his new bride space. This is great. And then Logic gets involved with very unhelpful advice. His dad creates this entire story about what a cheek on the kiss versus the lips means about Mecca. This will bother Mecca for the entire day. Logic goes on to very crudely say, the cheek is for the weak, and if she gives you tongue, she's sprung. This is an inappropriate way to speak about your future daughter-in-law. It's also not true and a very simplistic way of reading another human being's actions on that day. I love how Claire from the podcast Love to See It says that this puts Belle Jolie in a double bind. If she's reserved and acts chastely, she's weak. But if she's bold with a kiss, she's going to be labeled as sprung. Logic later takes time during the night to ask Belle Jolie to rate his son on looks. Logic then goes to Mecca and says some very inappropriate things about what they might do tonight, and how he knows that they will because of his discussions and investigations with Belle Jolie. The amount of time using Belle Jolie's imagined or potential sexuality in order to have this bonding conversation about whether Mecca is worthy or not, or desirable or not, is concerning. It's a concerning but common thing for people to attach their manhood to a woman's sexual willingness. The ongoing use of using women, and particularly Black women's body, to prop up, comment on, or affirm something about their bodies and their sense of worth is alive and well here. So when Belle Jolie and Mecca make it back to the honeymoon suite, even though they've decided to go slow and just start off as friends, we can tell that Mecca is really nervous. He says that he's nervous that she will find out something weird about him and that she'll basically leave. Belle Jolie is thrown by this, and she gives out examples of the way that she's weird and how she's not just going to leave him over some little weird thing. Why is Mecca preparing her for something weird to come out about him? She makes this promise, but it does put her in this bad position to be the villain when something does come up and she has to say, like, I can't deal with this. The pressure and the lack of the kiss is all really building, and Mecca is very nervous that Belle Jolie is not as into him as he is into her. He carries this nervousness into the honeymoon, this sense of rejection from.
So this perfectly illustrates why I am so strict about sharing things with loved ones and friends when you first get into a relationship, because literally all it takes is one bad piece of advice to get into both of your heads. And I think it's because I grew up watching Love Jones so much. The entire premise of Love Jones is her friends gave her bad advice, his friends gave him bad advice, and it cost them a year before they figured out how to get back together. And then I've watched it happen so many times in my life. All it takes is one conversation out of context with somebody who translated something through telephone, and suddenly the guy is upset or you're upset about something that neither of you actually even said or meant or felt, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing this happen with a parent, though, feels like a particular betrayal.
Well, it's also the part that I thought, what amplified how out of pocket the dad was the fact that his friends were like, nah, bruh, that's not what that means.
Your dad's your op.
Your dad, dead ass. Your dad is your op. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Dub him. Don't even listen to him, bro. Ignore him. How do you feel? Look how she looks at you. Look how she's engaging with it. Like, I was so relieved hearing that his friends who are young, mm-hmm. still were able to see the forest through the trees and be like, nah, bro, that's not, those are not the only options here. Those are not the only options. It's not, wholesome, puritanical, like, virgin versus whorebag. There's a lot in between there that I think it was refreshing to see young men in their late 20s be able to identify, like, let's nip this now so that you don't go in here with these preconceived red pill type notions about this woman who is literally showing up. Huh?
I said, you know what I fear, though? I fear that, because I asked myself, why were his friends so mature, I fear the reason why his friends were mature is because it's impossible to be friends with Mecca for very long and be around his dad and not feel that you have to adultify yourself to be a mature counterbalance to his father. As someone who's had friends with childish parents, their friends, even the friends who are immature, find themselves snapping into maturity because your daddy ain't shit. I had a friend, her mama wasn't shit, and so I immediately had to be the adult in the room whenever we're talking about her mom. And then that's happened a lot with me growing up, where it almost like, even if it's your friend's parents who are the children, it adultifies you. Immature parents create premature adults, and we don't talk about the ecosystem of anybody who's going to be friends with Mecca has to be somebody who can be a parent, because his actually parents are either absent or ain't shit. I think those boys around regular parents would have acted their age, but they're like, oh no, it's Mecca and his pops. Nah, we got to be the grown-ups here because pops is on some bullshit. Oh God, have you ever had friends whose parents were like, "Oh, girl, you want to come over?" Growing up, I had a lot of those friends where I was like, "You want to spend the night?"
I didn't have that many friends like that. Most of my friends growing up had really solid, present, stable parents. Yeah, or at least one. Even if it wasn't both, it was definitely one. They had one stable parent that was very emotionally connected, even if not mature, still willing to be vulnerable and try to meet their kid where they were at. I think I
had a lot of friends when I first moved to America. We lived in the hood until we saved up money to move out. And I remember a lot of my friends had young parents who felt more like older cousins than mothers. And because my mother had me in her 30s and was a good old adult, I was like, oh, I'm the only person with a grown-up parent. Y'all want to come over? So I know what it's like to have friends like that. And it does do something to you as a friend, watching your homie not have a true parent despite having a parent in the household.
From that initial meeting. Now, these two do have a blast at the resort. They're warm and open. They're having a good time.
Oh, quick question. Do we want to say anything at all about how much his father sexualizes Beljolie? I've never had the parent of somebody I was dating sexualized. That feels so nasty to me.
I thought it was inappropriate to pull her to the side, to pull her for a chat. I thought that was inappropriate off rip.
And to show off his eyes and we felt like he was flirting when we were watching it together.
Yeah, because we looked at him like, oh wow, look at his daddy, kind of fine, and then ick, and then ick very quickly. Ick very quickly, very very quickly. And it also goes to show that now Mecca is in a situation where he's gonna say things to bait her a little bit, to try to establish whatever conclusion that his dad has conditioned him to look for. Like that comments about, oh, you like me way, you're more attracted to me. I think your attraction is at 80-something%. What?
We're gonna get to that in a second. Let's
even gives Mecca an explicit verbal green light to start escalating their physical relationship. But Mecca struggles to be vulnerable and actually make any of those bids for that kind of connection.
I've diagnosed myself with this. I can say honestly that I think I have sexual anxiety.
In an attempt to feel better about this, he makes the decision to ask Beljolie to rate what the other's attraction level is. Are they equally attracted to each other, and what percentages? And then he throws out his percentages. He says that she is about 150% attracted to him, and he's maybe 60-80%.
For those who watch that episode, I know Jorge in real life, so there's a story time about it in the members only child, and he's very charming in real life.
It becomes clear to us and Beljolie that he had a very specific agenda in asking this question.
Since I'm on a Married at First Sight kick, let's talk about Mecca and Beljolie, because
I'm going to fast forward this white girl because I feel like we accidentally covered some of the stuff that she is saying just now. I will say this. Her encapsulation is she believes, and this is what a lot of people believe, the 80-150 comment was his version of negging. We watched his father neg him, and that him saying, maybe I should play the video. Let her make her case, because I didn't see it at first until she said it. And I do remember that there have been a couple of relationships I've had with people like Mecca, where whenever I would be too cerebral around them, they would suddenly try to do a power play based on attraction. Hold on.
Nursery rhyme about what it means if she goes for the cheek instead of the kiss. And since that moment, he has orchestrated situations to humble her. The first one being where he asked, what would you do if I ran away?
Or like, what would you do if I left you? And the other being, who do you think is more attracted to each other? Those were intentionally orchestrated moments to make her feel bad about herself. Like, his insecurities are shining through when he has a genuine, like, I said out of all of the women on this season, I would want to be friends with Beljolie the most because of the incredible energy she gives off. And he has the audacity to sit there in her face and make her feel less than.
If my boyfriend asked me at any point in our relationship, especially at the beginning, who do you think is more attracted to the other? Do you think one person is more attracted to the other? Yeah. And I looked at him and said, well, I don't think so. Why? What do you think? And he looked at me and said, well, realistically, I think you're way more attracted to me and you're actually even hiding more of that attraction to me versus me, who's over here just kicking back at a good 80%, but you're at 150. You're out of control. Like, you want me right now and I'm trying to back you off. If we were having that conversation in a bed like they were, one of those pillows would so graciously meet the front of his face and they would hang out for a good 5 minutes.
Okay, he's on the Aries.
Bridget. He's gotta be an Aries, because let me tell you right now, it's
what if you were in bed with a man? He said, who do you think is more attracted to each other? You think you're more attracted to me? I'm more attracted to you. And you say, I think we like each other. He said, nah, you like me way more than I like you, bitch.
I'd be like, wow. I'd be like, here, give me your hand. Feel how dry my pussy is now. No thanks. Never mind. Nope, it's dry. And now we're dry. And now it is a drought. Now we are.
What was the reason? I was thinking about it. There literally is no reason other than negging to ask that question. That question is so specifically fucked up for no reason.
Listen. I'm an Aries, so you don't want to have
We're in
that type of a power. That's why I said I'd be like, come here, give me your hand. You think I'm at 150%? Let me show you. Let me show you how dry you just made me. Dry,
he
baby.
didn't just say 80, 150. He said not only is it 80 versus 150, I actually think you're holding back how much you really want me.
Again.
What?
And now the pussy is dry. And now we are dry. Why are you dry?
Why are you dry?
That's what happened. Because what do you mean? Because now you want to enter into this weird power struggle of who likes who more. And no, we don't even need to do that, because if you feel the need to remind me of who you are, I have no problem lining you up to remind me who I am as well. What would you do if I ran away? Some of that stuff though, while some of
I ran away, at that point, I'm calling my Uber. My blood pressure medication can only do so much, Bridget.
What would you do if I left you? Well, let me scroll through my phone and see who else is not trying to leave me.
I'm getting hot just talking about this. Like, my face is getting.
What are we talking about here? You don't even have to. Let me think about it in my Uber while I'm leaving you. Stop.
Okay, let's continue. I can't. And mind you, I checked. Shout out to the edible. It's really kicking my ass right now. This happened after she said, I know I said I wanted to take it slow, but I'm ready for us to amp up our physical intimacy. And he confesses, I have sexual anxiety. She wants to get laid low and spread wide. He can't even spread peanut butter. And so his response is to neg her into her being so turned off, she'll stop wanting sex from him. I have been in that position. I have been in a position with somebody who was fearful that their sex was not advanced enough for me and therefore just tried to make me feel bad. And it is weird work, because even when you know what's happening, you're like, is his dick broken? I think she started, but she would never say it on camera.
Because why in the actual hell are we adding fractions and math into this marriage that has only been 6-7 days at this point? And when you then drop it from 150-80 to 80-60,
worse.
Are you sure you're looking at the right woman when you're talking right now, Mecca? First of all, look at her.
Be for
great
real.
Smile, great face. She can rock different hairstyles.
Mind you, look how good
gorgeous.
they look together. But look how good they look together. I think he caught a glimpse of what they could be, and it scares the fuck out of him.
Okay, so then say that.
But that takes maturity, Bridget. He's 12.
Let's just say that. Like, just say you're scared. Just say you're scared. Because here's the thing. If you would rather spend your time trying to manipulate a conversation to trivialize sexual attention, baby, just say you're scared. We don't have to do all that. We don't even have to do all that. Because here's the thing. He said that sexual anxiety moment, I think that was a part of an individual confessional with producers. I don't even think that was a conversation that he had with her. We didn't see that.
He didn't have it with her. That was something he said to the producers. It was not with her. Instead, he negged her instead.
Because I have a feeling, had he been forthcoming with her and said, "Hey, you know what? Because of my history, I have a little bit of sexual anxiety. So if I come off a little crass, if I'm doing that, if I'm triggered, if I'm cracking jokes about X, Y, and Z, it's because I'm a little triggered. Just give me a beat to like."
But did you hear what you just said, Bridget? You just said he would have to be vulnerable and they could have fixed it. What did his father teach him? Whenever a vulnerable moment is appropriate, say something deprecating about the other person instead. He's literally being his father's child in this moment where at the exact moment where intimacy is supposed to be forged, he instead pushes people away, just like his daddy.
Yeah, I have a roundabout thought about every single one of these couples, and yeah, I'll wait until the end to share it.
Yeah, I want to hear your thought about this couple in particular, because I will also say this: she does have some pick-me tendencies that I want her to be freed of, but we're gonna get into that in a second.
Styles and look good in each one. Now, even though I personally was not a fan of this necklace with the whole, dress of it all, I think she was a stunning bride.
I was very shocked when I saw that I wasn't being put on a drag queen. That's usually where I'm used to being. I did not realize I was going to be on a cis woman for her wedding. Listen, I don't like to yuck anyone's yum. They told me I was going to be on TV. I thought, finally, I'm going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race. And then I get to set, and it is Married at First Sight. Listen, beautiful girl. I love myself, but I don't know if this is the life that I would want for myself. I thought I was gonna be on a drag queen. Really just bling 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 bling. I thought I was gonna be staring at RuPaul. Hey Ru.
So Mecca, explain to me this 80-60 of yours.
Bling, 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 bling.
The fact that we have a live reporting from Mecca, Anthony's neck.
The necklace, the dollhouse chandelier. The dollhouse chandelier
White
had
plastic backing. They couldn't even pick gold plastic to pretend what was happening.
They gave her a video game
party
clear.
city.
It was Party City. Like that's a tiara. That's like a tiara that they put on the top of a cake. Like that's an adornment for a cake. I hated it. But anyway.
You guys, y'all don't understand how much of a tism we had about the necklace, so we had to get that out. Thank you for humoring us.
Now, I can admit I was so wrong when I said after the first episode, before we got the second and third, that there might be a chance that she's not into him because of just the editing of it all. I was clearly wrong. She is very into him, and it does seem that he's into her. I do like the fact that they have a couple named Becca. It's cute, straight to the point. That's a very coupley thing to do. They're talking about having matching outfits. They're having real life conversations when they're moving in with each other back in Seattle. I am starting to see why perhaps the experts did put them together, because they both did also agree that they do like having that friendship first and that growing into something. And they clearly get along. They clearly have the same sense of humor. They clearly crack and laugh at the same jokes. But it would seem as if Mecca needed some encouragement from his lady to, make an advancement here and there, make a move. I'm going to follow suit. I'm into you. So do it. Now, like I did say at the very beginning of this, the more time we have spent with Mecca away from his father, the more I have enjoyed Mecca.
Like he actually cut my hair this time. Like we don't need to have no long drawn out conversations about no weird stuff.
Bro, first of all, who you talking to, bro? I'm not one of your friends. Second of all, which hair are you talking about?
See, bro, this is what I'm talking about.
No, I'm serious.
The hair on my head and my facial hair.
Okay, there's hair up there and then there's hair down there.
Hey, yo.
Bro, you gotta cut the hair down there, bro. You don't manscape?
I know what that is, but...
You don't manscape. You don't, bro.
I didn't say all that.
You look like you got Lil Wayne in between your legs down there. Bruh. It's probably bushy and all that, bro. You should let me hook you up, bro.
No.
Come on, man. Let me just, I'll put parts in mine. Jerry curl, S curl, taper it, fade it up. Man, it looks real good, bro. Let me, you want to see how hard...
No.
The thing about having an inappropriate parent or...
Bridget, that's the cleanest video. I found many videos. That was the most PG one I could find to share of how Logic appears on social media.
I am disturbed.
He needs to go to jail.
Like,
he's a school principal. He's a school principal.
For what? For what? For what?
High schoolers.
For what school? Where is that appropriate? At the school for the deaf? That's the only place that he could be allowed, because you got to be kidding me with that. You just told
he got in trouble for making sexual videos, and the school thinking it was inappropriate with the students being able to see him on TikTok, and all the videos were sexual. And I didn't post that. I didn't want to trigger anybody because it was giving a little PDF file ish. Not making allegations. I'm just telling you the video coming from a principal was it was about putting plugs in sockets. It was all penis, vagina innuendos. Logic actually went from being fine to scaring me. Do you think this is why Mecca probably won't ever have a relationship, because Logic has done this to him?
I think of the only relationship that I think
saxophones are playing. Go ahead.
I know the saxophones are playing. The saxophones are getting louder. Okay, the pressure is getting worse. I actually think the only relationship Mecca is going to feel safe and comfortable in, unfortunately, is going to be one where he is the child and he is dating someone that acts like a protective mother. Yeah. I don't think he's going to survive in another relationship without, unless he goes to extensive therapy, unless he is locked in with the lady and is not going to try to pursue said lady. I feel like he's doomed to end up with a woman, with someone that is like a mother, not a wife. That's how I see it playing out.
Oh my God, you're right. Because when I've dated men like that, I've always had to be matriarchal to keep them safe from the ecosystem that I pull them from. And it's exhausting. It's the reason why I won't date somebody who doesn't have boundaries with their ecosystem.
It's going to have to be a woman that's older, that has a lot of experience, a lot of time, a lot of patience, and hopefully has good intentions, because if not, then he's just going to end up in another situation with another parent figure that is conditioning him to subscribe to systems that he is not aware are actually incredibly harmful, like those that his dad has ingrained in him.
I can see Beljo Lee. This is the part that makes my stomach turn. I feel there's some emotional incest already being planted, where even with the conversation that, and I'm going to skip this lady's video because I want to get this out because this just hit me. The conversation that Mecca's father had with Beljo Lee at the wedding is a conversation he should have been having with his wife or his partner. There was a certain level of flirtation, equity, familiarity, and sexual innuendo that felt like a man talking to a partner. A line has already been crossed non-verbally there, which means if Beljo Lee and Mecca stay together, it's going to be positioned that she's the mother figure fighting with the father figure, like divorced parents over him, rather than your wife versus your dad. It's going to feel like mom versus dad fighting over me.
Right.
It's going to recreate his child wounds. That stage has already been set by Logic and Beljo Lee and Mecca. They're already playing the role of they're the two parents and he's the child, even though she's trying to be a partner to have children with him. Oh, that's gross. That's emotional incesty.
It is very much so.
Or both parents being inappropriate is that you kind of explain it away, right? My parent is just different, and a lot of the time they disguise that inappropriateness as comedy. It really backs you into a corner because you're like, if I laugh, they'll stop, hopefully, but maybe if I laugh, they'll keep going, so I don't really know what to do. There's like a pressure there to convince yourself that they're not being inappropriate with you, because if they are, that means that they don't really value the connection you two have. It really begs the question, well, who am I to you if I'm not your son or daughter? And honestly, the best thing to do if you're looking to realize what the hell is really going on is to expose yourself and your family to other people. I wouldn't necessarily recommend television, but however it needs to happen, it should happen at some point. Everyone's looking at Mecca's father, Big Mecca, and they're like, he's very inappropriate. Now, Mecca's probably noticed this, and his friends have probably noticed this, but it's not been enough for him. Now that the world is saying that there's something wrong with the way that his father speaks to him, hopefully he wakes up. I swear to you, when he said that whole tent in his pants down at the end of the freaking wedding aisle, like, why was you looking down there? I'm sure that probably didn't really happen.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. What do you think about the dick jokes? What do you think about the fact that Mecca's father immediately made a joke about Mecca having an erection at the aisle?
His father has done nothing but emasculate him at every turn, and humiliate him in a way that makes him shut down. It's almost like making a joke about things that it's adding on more insecurities, right? Like Mecca already has a laundry list of things that he's insecure about, rightfully so, right? From his childhood onward. It almost feels like his dad is seeing that it's not crippling enough. It's almost like his dad is trying to add things to the tab of insecurity and more things for him to internalize and shut down with instead of advocate for himself, because his dad has already been left by women. His dad has given me a little bit of it's a little teetering on red pill, it's teetering on you don't like.
I think it's the whole pill. I think it's a bottle of pills at this point.
Because it feels to me like his father's fear of Mecca actually coming to his senses and finding a partner that actually does love and support him will leave his father in the dust, because you can't run game on nobody else.
That's true.
Other than your own son, obviously, because all the other adults are looking around like, bro, what are you doing? Even his friends are looking around like, bro, what are you doing? His dad is Mecca's little friend.
It is.
So now it's like, he doesn't know that there is nothing. Logic is going to do whatever he can to expose Mecca's insecurities, to expose his vulnerabilities, so much so that Mecca doesn't even know what is appropriate to be vulnerable about.
When Mecca gets scared, Mecca acts like his father.
He acts like his father. So now he's going to weaponize the conditioning that he's had, right? And use that as an excuse to be disrespectful and demeaning.
Absolutely disgusting.
It sucks. And I actually don't think they should be getting married or stay married. I don't think they should stay married.
I think everybody's rooting for them, and I still am. I think that even if they stay together, she's not safe.
Yeah, it's your daddy. It's your daddy. Your daddy is the reason why the women in your life keep leaving you. And your daddy might be the reason why your wife. This woman, you have to be strong. Oh. You really have to be strong, because his dad is a problem.
Yeah, the predator.
And his dad is a principal. Please, which school is that? So that I can alert the parents not to send their kids there. Because I don't understand you saying she kissed him on the cheek and then he says, oh, one cheek at a time. What kind of a joke is that at a wedding? Hey, the way this guy was talking to his son, I can see why the son might not have self-confidence. Because you already have the bully lives within. He lives at home. Your bully lives at home with you. No. I don't like his dad. His dad's name is Logic, but he's very illogical.
This is our first group session.
This is a truth-telling session.
These experts got in that ass, didn't they?
They did.
Episode 9, was it, of Married at First Sight? Boy, these experts ain't playing around. Long gone are the days of Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper and whoever the third one was. No. Them experts who used to barely check in on these couples. Nope. These experts got in all of these couples' ass.
The way that these experts gagged me, when I say gagged me during the group therapy session, because I've been talking a lot of Cash Money shit about these experts. I'm not even gonna hold you. I have been talking Cash Money shit. They've been irritating me with their choices, but they might have redeemed themselves just slightly when it comes to this group therapy, because they were not playing with people. They were holding everybody accountable and they were calling people out, rightfully so. More specifically, Paul Brunson. I love me some Paul now. Paul was not playing. Paul had no problem calling Adam out, calling Mecca out. And it was like nasty nice. He has mastered the art of being like firm, but not like disrespectful. I was like, okay, I learned a few things from this man. I was like, oh, very direct. Love it. And there's quite a few people that are like upset with this man and the way that he handled Adam. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, a man like Adam needs to be handled that way. You can't just white glove him. A lot of y'all are snowflakes. You love to use that word snowflake. No, you are these sensitive snowflakes. Adam is the type of man that you need to handle without gloves. I'm also relieved that Mecca was called out as well. I'm very relieved that Mecca was called out because I'm actually getting sick of his shit. This is where I'm not much of a fan of Dr. Lisa Paz compared to Paul, because Dr. Lisa,
she acts like she wants to sleep with a lot of the men. It makes me nervous.
I can never pinpoint what her bottom line is with each couple.
He's so hot. Oh my God, he's so sexy. Oh, they look good. Because we've already had, for those who don't know, previous seasons, a therapist had to quit because she ended up sleeping with and then married one of the husbands on the show. So the show already has a history of therapists who are women going on there to find him a husband, child. Very, very crazy work. And however, and she makes me nervous because she always seems to cape for the men even when they're wrong.
Yep. She's a pick-me. She's a pick-me. And in my opinion, she doesn't ask the right questions. The questions that she asks are more like she's interested in them versus interested in the couple discovering the solution to their problem.
First sincere, now logic. Oh man.
Because baby, they are robbing us of nouns and adjectives that we need in our daily lives and vocabulary, and they are just, these identities are completely misusing them. Make it stop.
First sincere. Let's move on to this couple. Up next, and I picked the right spot blindly. I love when that happens. Next up, we have Devin and Caitlyn. Devin immediately acts like a cancer man. I had to look it up. He is a cancer man.
Oh my God!
It explains everything, doesn't it?
It explains everything.
If love is a leap of faith, these two might just stick the landing. First of all, do you have any last thoughts about Mecca and Belja before we pivot to Devin and Caitlyn?
I will say, as individual people, I think that they come across as very genuine, earnest individuals. I really do think so. I don't know if marriage is the right answer for them, but however, I do think that if the two of them choose to do a lot of the work on themselves and can recognize when they're triggering each other, I think they could be okay. It's just going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. And I don't know if both of them individually have the bandwidth to do that and work on the relationship at the same time.
I think he's running out of steam with her. I will say, guys, we're about to do Devin and Caitlyn, but in 10 minutes, we're pivoting to the members only area. So just keep an eye out. In about 10 minutes, we're going to wrap up part 1 and do the after show, because we're going to be talking about allegations around people's sexual orientations and things like that. I want to make sure that we are, it's going to be a mess, y'all.
Caitlyn is pissing me off so bad. And y'all help me. What the hell is a black cat? Back to talk Married at First Sight, season 20. And we are talking Caitlyn and Devin. And don't play in that man's face like that. You already know he's got issues, honey, with abandonment and all of those things. And I don't know, again, matchmakers, why did y'all match them? You know he's a stage 5 clinger, and you know that she don't want to be bothered. I said, after 4 days, you need your space. Like, it's been 4 days. This is literally the honeymoon period where you're supposed to be getting to know your partner. And how much more would you be wanting to get to know the person when you're married at first sight? He's like, wake me up for the gym in the morning so we can go together. She said, yeah, I'm gonna let him sleep. I need time away, honey. When Courtney finds out that they're in the same boat, don't want to be bothered with their husbands, like they are just 2 peas in a pod. And my thing is, Devin's like, I just want a little attention. I just want a little hug. I just need a little affection. I just need a little, one.
Okay, so cancer men are acquired taste. Men who are emotional are acquired taste. But can we all agree that 4 days is a little bit early?
Yes.
For those who are saying, well, she's a Gemini, he's a Cancer, and I'm a Gemini, so I get it, I can't stand him. Can we all admit that objectively 4 days is a little bit early for that speech?
Yes.
Especially if you just met them 4 days ago and you just got married, so you might want to get to know the person that you're married to. I don't think that's a Gemini just needs. I'm a Gemini rising and a Gemini Venus. I very much, Bridget will tell you, not too fucking much. My car's outside. And even I can recognize this is premature. As somebody with many Gemini placements when it comes to love and relationships, even I have to admit she's doing a little bit too much.
I think they're both doing too much. I actually think this is a terrible match. I think it's a terrible match as well. I think it was an absolutely terrible match. The only thing they appear to fundamentally have in common is their affinity for fitness, and that's it. There's no, they have
but even
nothing.
that they can't match up because she won't go to the gym with him.
Right, because that's not either one of their whole identity, right? And it's not like Courtney that going to the gym is her whole identity, right? It's not like that. It's literally just it's one little thing, and then so for that to be the only thing they have in common, and she doesn't even want to do that with him. She doesn't like him. She does not like him. Let's call it. Let's just untether. She does not like him. She does not like him.
I think it's 60-40. I think it's 60% her, 40% him. I do think she's more broken than he is. I think he's way more and more emotionally intelligent than she is, but I also think he's way too attached. I think he is as emotionally intelligent as you can be while being anxiously attached. Like whatever is left for his development and his growth is in the anxious attachment because he has abandonment issues. She, though, is very universally avoided. Those are both insecure attachment styles. However, he's asking for things that are a matter of preference. She has issues with things that are fundamental necessities.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the audience, because so many women relate to not liking clingy men, they're still not realizing one is about a preference. The other one is universally unhealthy. Yep. The universally unhealthy is going to have to weigh more than the preference, guys. That's just how words work, right? So it would have been 40-40. And if you had to give the extra 20, it has to be the person who's universally fucking up rather than a matter of choice.
But that's also why I say she doesn't like him, because every chance she gets a chance to speak, she will recognize and give him credit for, oh my God, he's so kind. He does all of these thoughtful things.
He's so accountable. He's so accountable.
He apologizes immediately. So she can recognize she's not a dummy. She knows what the fuck she's doing. She can recognize that he's a catch. That's why I say you just don't like him. Because if you can name all of these things that he's doing right, and it doesn't you can't name, there's not one thing that he has done, quote unquote, wrong.
Attached too quick. They just got married, y'all.
It's not even about, but
you can't say attached too quick on a show where you're getting married on the first date. The whole premise is attaching too quick.
But the only reason it feels like he's attaching too quick is because she doesn't like him and she's not interested.
Yes, if he was asking for share a blanket. That's not clingy to share a blanket with somebody that
give me they made a plan. When I saw
y'all need hugs.
It irritated me. It irritated me, but also so many people. Devin is a great example of someone who has the courage to ask for what he needs.
Yeah.
How often do we look at men and say to men, yo, you don't say, you're not transparent enough. You're not honest enough. You don't say, you don't communicate. You don't tell me what you need. Here's this man giving you the playbook on exactly what he needs. And now he's too attached. Now he's too soft. Now he's too clingy. Which is it? Is it Uchi Wally or is it one mic? And for her to sit there and recognize nah, he's doing everything right. I just need space and time. Girl, you just don't like him. You don't like him.
The amount of women who are in the chat right now caping for her, y'all are telling on yourselves because there's nothing clingy about wanting a partner who wants to do shared hobbies with you and who wants a hug and a kiss goodbye without you having to beg for it. That's not clingy. Y'all need to talk to the lady.
They agreed to go and work out together. They talked about it before they went to bed. She got up before he got up, and rather than wake him up to further confirm and affirm him in the plan that she had agreed to the night before, she consented to, she decided to pivot and do her own thing. Anyone would be upset about that. That is not
continue to do it. He just told his homegirl the other night, he said she's been doing it every day since we met. So it wasn't a one-off. It's an everyday thing, even after he said he found it hurtful.
Yeah, she doesn't like him. If you can recognize, this is something, Blue, actually, I learned from your class. If you have not taken All Night Shift, baby.
We're sold out. I'll send you the link for the January class. But yes, thank you, friend.
January. I need to see everybody that's in the chat talk about she's not crazy. I need all of y'all to own. I need all of y'all in All Night Shift in January.
Yeah, y'all need to talk to the lady.
Something that I learned in the class that I think is incredibly valuable is that when a partner or somebody that you are interested in can verbatim list out the things that they know that you need, they can acknowledge that they're not unreasonable asks. It's not a heavy lift. The thoughtfulness and the consideration, they can name it and they can do all of these things verbally to acknowledge that you're not crazy and you're not in the wrong, and then deliberately do the opposite
repeatedly.
You don't like me. You don't like me. You don't respect me. You don't care about how you make me feel. That is so, I mean, it's bare minimum baseline consideration for somebody else that you care about. That's it. And then she gets emotional and gets defensive when it's like, oh, well, you didn't name anything that I've been working on and doing right. Stop giving people participation trophies. Showing up and breathing the same air as me is not creating a connection.
And what does that say about how much you don't like me that you want to be clapped for doing the bare minimum? Somebody said, ladies, we got to stop. If the roles were reversed, we'd be telling her to leave him. Thank you.
100%.
There's hypocrisy right now. I did a whole video about how this year women watching reality TV have embarrassed me because y'all keep saying wild shit that y'all get mad when men say it. It still sounds wild, ladies. Somebody said, yeah, she damaged. I recognize myself in her. See, I prefer that. I think many of you think just because you can relate to her that something's not wrong with her. What if I told you both need to talk to the lady? Yikes. Somebody, I'm just saying, just because you relate don't mean she right. It means you both wrong.
Is that the call coming from inside the house? I think
inside the bra, bitch. Put your hand down your shirt. Just pull it out. Pull it out your titty. Okay? My husband and I are both Cancers and both have Venus and Taurus. We both like being in each other's space, but we also both really like our... Devin, if she hugged...
My Venus is also in Taurus. My Venus is also in Taurus. So I am with you.
My Venus is in Gemini. I will leave. But still, Bridget will stay. So just give somebody a chance.
But I like both. I need both. I need the affection. And also, when I want my time, get out my face. I need both.
Bridget, this is the perfect time to pivot because how long what's the absolute latest we can have you?
Till 1:15.
Okay, so we're going to pivot to the members only area because we're about to get way more inappropriate. You could already tell me and Bridget are cussing y'all out. Respectfully, we love you so much. But you see how me and Bridget are yelling? Shout out to the new members who are coming in. We're switching over to members only because, not hiding. Because you guys, I need you to know, I have many thoughts that are inappropriate that might get me. I don't want to say cancel. Y'all can't fucking cancel me. Y'all.
I have a whole lot of shit I want to pop for members only. Whole lot of shit.
Yeah. So I think for the members only area, guys, we're gonna pivot over there now. We're gonna give you. It is 12:22. It's 22 past the hour. We're gonna meet there at 25 past the hour. So you have 2.5 minutes to pee, grab a snack, wash your hands after you peeing and before the snack. Nasty. But we're gonna give you 2 minutes to go to the bathroom. Okay, guys? So thank you for watching the show thus far. Bridget, I love that we're doing this. I think Married at First Sight is the perfect show to have the single one and the not single one. The way
my husband, the way Cheech and I's eyes twitch watching this show, looking at each other like, let me tell you right now, if you ever did this shit to me, we would be divorced. We look at each other, every couple, I'm like, yo, we would be divorced. If you ever said some shit like that to me, we'd be divorced.
Y'all, we're gonna go to the members only because I have so much I want to say, and my meds are, y'all know that I like to do legally obtained things in the members only area. So when I came up, don't judge me. All right, Bridget, you ready?
We're out of here.
Family, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you have watched this far. The comment for the recap comment section is, I defend people's rights, not their wrongs. Because y'all like to say I defend women's rights and wrongs. I don't, bitch. I'll leave you. You're wrong. I defend people's rights. Me and Bridget will leave you. You're wrong. We love you so much. And we can't keep using vulvas as an excuse for violence. And speaking of violence, we will be talking. Shout out to Violent, Beljulie's mother. I skipped over that part. Her name is Violent. I'll be sharing the video where we discuss what the fuck is that about. All right, we're going to see you guys. And now it's only 1 minute. All right. Love y'all. Bye, family. Say bye, BK.
Bye, guys.